I 100% understand, like, just watching the feeling of watching bad things happen, like, wow, I can do nothing about this. Isn't that
Hmm.
fantastic? Um, you just kind of get in this cycle of, like, depression. And, like, I
Yeah.
know people who stay in that so long, they just get nihilistic about the whole thing. But
Right.
there is a lot you can do as the individual, even in small amounts. The number one thing I'd say right now is if you look at the way supply lines and especially shipping structures at the moment are working, we are having an increased inflation period because goods are not necessarily becoming more scarce, but more complicated through the transition routes we have to get to them. So because of that, the dollar becomes less because things the dollar's based on become worth more, yada yada. At the moment, the like advice I would have to someone who can afford to put some money away is put the money into assets that are definitely going to be useful. Things like food. So, for example, if you've
Hmm.
got $100, and $100 is worth, I don't know, just for example, 100 boxes of mac and cheese. Um, if like 6 months or a year from now this continues and the dollar becomes worth like a dollar 50 now or whatever, well now your $100 is going to be able to buy 50 boxes of mac and cheese, whatever the number would be. um, because of that, you have let you have let paper money, which is not an asset because you can't eat it, you can't do anything with it.
Hmm.
You've let it sit, and
Fiat.
now you do not have a more equivalent amount for what that money was worth at the time, and you're worse off for it. Which I always say this to everyone: there are like the there's a gun shop nearby that has a saying because suppressors take 9 months to buy. There's a sign when you walk in that says the two best times to buy a suppressor were 9 months ago and today.
Hmm.
This best
Yeah.
time to buy food was 9 months ago and today because it's going to continue to like, you know,
Right.
the money
Shop at
doesn't stop
Costco
growing. Shop at Costco. Yeah,
and,
shop at
and
Costco.
and buy shit that doesn't go bad.
When you go get spaghetti, get like 2 boxes or something because now it is worth more than it will be
Yeah.
then. So it's going to
Bro,
save you in the long run.
all these Zoomers investing in Bitcoin.
Bro,
We gotta buy
do
some
not get
This is
me
where
fucking
the
mac and
money's at.
cheese,
This is
dude.
where the
Shit.
money's at.
do not get me started on the Bitcoin stuff.
Oh, please get started on the Bitcoin because,
Bro,
man,
it
I can
drives me up a
fucking.
wall. I tell you
Have you
what.
invested in any crypto coins?
No, no, no.
No.
I
So I used to be in the market a while ago in the crypto world, but I had to I probably liquidated out every position I had over a year ago at this point because it got really scam and rife heavy. I was really supportive of cryptocurrency because I was like, oh, decentralized money, probably the next evolution. Complete rife with scams. I want to know your I want to know like the average person's opinion who knows about the topic, who's like seen it unfold before their eyes, because on the internet I literally only have like the haters and the people that jack this shit off every fucking day. But you're gonna have a more reasonable take. I know that.
crypto like overall.
Overall, yeah.
He's
And
a hater.
Bitcoin.
So
Not gonna lie,
He's a hater.
he's a hater.
no, 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 no. I am slightly a hater, but not for those reasons. So my issue with it is the way it is marketed more than anything. In itself, you can use cryptos, you can use Bitcoin, whatever, as a form of stock. Actually, the better example for something like Bitcoin is gold and silver. So precious metals like that do not go up in value, especially gold. It doesn't go up in value. It is a battery for your money. If you would have bought a, a brick of gold or ounce of gold or whatever for $500 10 years ago, an ounce of gold is over $2,000 right now. That is not because gold has become more rare or it's disappeared. It's
Right.
because
Money's worth
scarcity.
less.
money, exactly, money is worth
Yeah.
less. So
I
then
viewed it that way as well.
exactly, yeah, because it's
Actually.
it's parking your money. It's like I'm going to set $500 here, and then whenever years from now I get it for $2,000,
Yeah.
that is just like it is maintained its value over time. And
Yeah, that's why I buy land, exactly.
exactly,
'Cause-
yeah, land is another. Okay,
Yeah.
well, all right, all right. I will not go into my whole spiel about assets and forfeiture and all that. But yes, you are correct. I got excited. I got a little carried away there. When you have something like Bitcoin that is generally maintained and has a large enough population behind it, it kind of works like gold and silver in the way you can park your money, save it. Now, the issue is that Bitcoin is entirely dependent on markets and buy-ins, so it is much more of a sort of sine wave. Like you can lose or potentially gain more on it than you can something like gold. It's not a surefire, which is like I understand the appeal of it. However, just like gold and things like stocks and crypto and all that, it is not something that has any intrinsic value. Like this is an example I heard a guy who's much smarter than me say about this stuff. If you were flying on a plane and your plane was about to crash, and you're in the middle of the ocean, and there were 2 islands, there was one island entirely made of gold. Like it was gold, it was all the money you could ever imagine. And another island that had a farm on it. Which island would you land on?
The farm.
The farm, exactly. Because it's not worth as much money, but what are you going to do? Eat the gold? The same applies to like crypto and stocks and all that. It is only good when you get rid of it. Then you can use it for stuff you need to live and do all that. Now, in its own, that's perfectly fine. I encourage people to buy silver and gold, and the reason I encourage that stuff over like things like cryptocurrency is because it's more surefire, because it is an actual battery to hold on to. However, so like everything I just said, like, yeah, sure, crypto's fine. My issue with it is that people on the internet who have been marketed to with crypto over and over, who have pretty much enough. I know guys who are like renting a 1-bedroom apartment, are trying to save up for a car, who spend thousands of dollars on crypto.
Yeah.
That is absurd. Like,
I know.
you
I know.
Composite assets, like stuff that maybe will get me some value in the future, instead of making sure you can eat next week. That's
You're
my
better off
problem
buying
with crypto.
copper.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a lot better off with fucking exactly. Precious. Yeah.
That's an Appalachian investment. Copper.
Yeah,
it all goes back to Appalachia.
Bro, I tell you what,
guy.
me and my buddies go up there, we find them copper. Bro, they ain't even using it. It's on the poles out there. It's on the wires. They won't miss a little bit of it.
My thing with like all the crypto stuff is like you're right. Like it's only worth it if you get rid of it, which is why I always like say that's the thing about NFTs and all this stuff, right? It's like you buy a coin, you hype it up, and you sell it back to somebody for double the profit. That's not something with I think real value. That's just like, it's like you're making fool's gold and you're just like, fucking selling it back and forth. You're like,
it's like gambling lottery.
Exactly. It's a scam. Let's straight up call it what it is. Like it's like motherfuckers running a Ponzi scam, whatever you want to call it. But like with like assets and everything like that, right? Like I've had people who've told me like fucking you can't 200x properties and you can't do like other things, and I'm like, but those things have value. It's like the way that I've always said it to somebody, I'm like, there's always some rube that's gonna come up with some fucking new coin, right? Like cum coin. But let me tell you, God isn't making new fucking land, okay? So it's like if you can buy that shit, go for it, okay? Because some dipshit's always gonna.
Man. Elon Musk going to Mars. I don't know who's gonna want to live in Manhattan.
I thought you were gonna go like scientific and be like, Bermuda. What about tectonic plates? I heard that shit by the way.
No, I'm not doing that. No.
Dude, when I heard that, I'm like, all right, I guess we'll never win this argument, okay? Shit. But I started to tell him like, God ain't making new fucking land in the States anytime soon, okay? And definitely not in like anywhere else in the world. Might as well put my money into that or some shit, right? Like if you're gonna park your cash somewhere. But it's like, no.
I am a huge fan of land because exactly what you said, it is like gold and silver, an asset that does not like multiply or get bigger over time, so it maintains its value. But it also does have intrinsic value. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
like
you need it to live.
You can use it rather than just be like, yeah, that'll be worth something someday. You're like, yeah, this is worth something now, and I could do it. Exactly, yeah. You could business, house, garden, whatever. You can make an entire living off of it.
Bunker.
Yeah, 100%. Land is a good way to go. Buy land,
it's got
not
water.
NFTs.
A lot of times, water.
Oh, I got land, brother. I got land for days.
Can dig a fucking well on it, especially like in the north. Down here, there's not that much water. There's no springs or anything, but
sometimes there's oil on your land, dude, and then you make a shit ton of sometimes that'll happen.
I have 80 acres, and I own the oil rights to it, and I bet there's no oil on it.
Wait, did you check?
Well,
the mineral rights, it was checked in the 90s.